And we're live. Hello and welcome to the 9th episode of the Yoie and Jordi Podcast. I'm Jordi.
I'm Yoie.
And it's been a while. We probably haven't posted in a few weeks because, just been on holidays, travelling. I ended up in hospital for 4 days.
Serious case of diarrhoea.
Yeah, the worst case of diarrhoea they've actually had up there. Get off the table.
Didn't last long.
Yeah. No. So, anyway, yeah. Old news now, but Andrew Tate's in a prison.
Yes, very crazy thing. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's been like, people have been saying he's been a sex trafficker for fucking, I don't know, the whole time I've heard of the bloke, which is like not even a year, but he's like the most famous guy in the world.
Well, like out of nowhere, went to like the most Googled person for like a few months.
So yeah, you know a bit more about it. I haven't really been paying attention to it.
Well, I just want to say something about the trafficking thing, because who knows what's going to come out of the case, because obviously there's going to be a trial or something if he's convicted or whatever. But like, I'm not sure.
He's just giving him a job.
Well, he ran a fucking cam girl company. If I'm sure everyone knows that now, and it's like he obviously had them living in houses and they lived there. He made the money because he managed all of the fucking accounts or whatever. It's pretty like OnlyFans manager, but he was doing cam girls instead.
Such a fucking crazy thing to be doing.
Yeah, I've watched so much of his shit. It's like him saying that like when he first started out, he contacted like 6 of his girlfriends.
Sure.
Got them all to fly out to this one spot, and then he sat them all down in the one room and was like, "Look, this is what we're gonna do."
Oh,
and then he said fucking 4 left and 2 stayed, and fucking then he just that's how the business started.
Fucking what were they, just like girls he'd been seeing or something?
They were his girlfriends. Apparently that's what he called them.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think I heard something about there was an investigation April last year about some American chick, but turned out to be nothing. And there was some chick at his house that someone said, "Oh, she's not allowed to leave." They get there, she was allowed to leave.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure, I was watching, the day after he got arrested or something, I seen those videos, and it was like him on Tucker Carlson, and he's like, "Oh, the allegations, that was just a rumour, it was just a swat," and stuff like that. So he actually got swatted previously, and people spreading rumours that it was about sex trafficking, and then he gets actually raided, a few months later or something, and it's all, real.
Well... See, the thing about the case with him, because I've been doing a little bit of deep diving with it, is that it's there's so much misinformation about it from both sides. When Tate, people were saying, "Oh, Tate's out of prison, he's out now," and he's still in prison.
He is now. Yeah,
he's still in prison now. They have him on a 30-day hold, is what they're calling it, and it's apparently with people that are flight risk. You can hold them for 30 days while you search their houses and gather evidence for the case.
So what is the evidence, eh?
That's the thing. There's really no evidence that's been come out. All we have is that there's 6 victims. I do this, I'm going to get to it later. I'm not just there's no victims. But there's 6 victims apparently. 2 of them have come out saying that they were interviewed about this earlier, and that they said that they were not victims.
Okay.
They, all these things are untrue. Andrew's a great guy. We love Andrew, and literally, they love him. But and they're saying no, we're not victims, and they were 2 of the people named out of the 6.
Okay, right.
And there's another thing that came out where it's either another 2 girls that were named as victims, or it might be the same girls. I'm not sure because of the misinformation. You can't.
Yeah, it's so funny because there is a lot of misinformation. There's also a lot of people just taking the piss.
Yeah, so it's hard to really know. But then another 2 girls came out on videoed themselves talking about it, saying that also they were not victims of this.
Okay.
So possibly 4 out of 6 are saying that they aren't victims.
Yeah, right.
That he's been accused by. but at the very least, it's 2 out of 6 that are saying that they weren't victims.
Yeah,
Which
right.
already, if you're looking at a case and there's 6 accusers and 2 of them are saying, hey, we didn't accuse this guy of anything. Like, why are they being named? That's already shady.
Yeah.
So, who knows what's going to happen?
What do you think? Do you reckon this will make him more popular?
I think it already has made him more popular.
Yeah.
I think the general consensus is with people that weren't like looking at him and going, oh, he's a sexist, pig and get rid of him.
Mm.
People that didn't think that when they watched his shit don't hate him because of this.
Yeah.
I think that more people are going back Andrew.
Yeah, I wonder.
I see a lot more vocality about fucking, hey, he's obviously because I run in certain circles and whatever, but that Andrew Tate should not be in prison or whatever. But who knows?
See, I don't know. I don't know enough about it. It's like Andrew Tate's one of those people. You know, he's like, I don't. There's nothing I really disagree with him all that much. When I think he shits on a lot of the Matrix as he calls it, but I'll just call that regular capitalist society or whatever the hell you want to call it. But he calls it the Matrix, and he dishes on people for being little wage slaves, which I think is hilarious and true. It's like people are caught in a matrix of you're told to fucking just work and you'll be fucking happy and shit, and end up people just doing boring shit for the rest of their life. So there's things I like about what he says, you know what I mean?
A lot of his thing is, you don't want to lead a mediocre life and all that kind of shit. Because a mediocre life is it is shit. Life is generally pretty fucking boring.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at his look at me with my Bugatti or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's I don't know. I don't think Andrew Tate is the fucking best man to ever live, obviously.
I'd want to know more, yeah.
I think that the only thing we're going when the trial actually happens or after this 30-day hold is done, that's when we're really going to start finding stuff out. Because a lot of what's happening now is just they're gathering evidence and all that shit. But no evidence has come out. It's all it's all pretty much speculation, really.
Yeah, it is all speculation.
So
that's why I haven't really heard. There's nothing's really stood out to me about it since he got arrested.
Yeah, so, I mean, his Twitter's still active. I'm sure it's just a manager posting everything.
Yeah, and the whole thing is sex trafficking as well, because of the nature of, I think, our world, where it's look, I think sex work is horrible. I think it is a terrible blight or stain on humanity, but it exists because we live in a world where essentially you have to sell your labour for the vast majority to get their food and shit like that. Everything's turned into a commodity. Your labour, sex is turned into one as well. It's a natural byproduct of the system we live in. I think it's disgusting, but it's should it be legal or not? You know what I mean? It's I don't think it should be illegal because I don't think you should be chucking fucking prostitutes in prison. You know, I mean, that just seems ridiculous. But I don't think it should exist. Yeah. At the same time.
I'm definitely on the same page with that, and I think you see a lot of obviously leftists or whatever, and they're very much sex work is work and sex work is empowering to women and all that shit. But it's not. I don't really see it as empowering because it's not empowering the women because it's giving the people if I'm a guy and I have heaps of money, I can buy your vagina.
Yeah, it's like
I can rent it
McDonald's
for
isn't empowering.
No, it's not empowerment. It's just giving someone else the ability to purchase you as a commodity.
Exactly, it's like the opposite of empowering. It's like being used as exploited, being exploited.
Yeah, it's literally empowering. Obviously, men are the main buyers of fucking sex work because.
Having sex with someone that would never have sex with them otherwise.
Yeah. So who's it empowering to give people the ability to buy sex? Yeah. It's empowering, not I'm not fucking going all patriarchy on this, but it's giving men power in that. It's giving rich men power.
People, men.
And fucking, there's not many rich women that are buying sex, I'm sure.
Yeah, well, I mean, probably not.
I couldn't.
Fuck, how much little game do they have? Like, do they even need any?
Yeah,
You know
that's what I mean. Like, a girl doesn't need to buy sex.
Yeah. I know the whole situation is fucked. Like, yeah, as I was saying before, I don't really, with Andrew Tate, I don't have any strong opinions crazily, but like in general, I think he seems like a good person. You know what I mean? He teaches people not to be weak little soy fucking Marvel watching people. You know what I mean? That's what the gist I get from it.
Well, it's like you got to think of it. It's in a world where like the only thing that's promoted is like that soy, like the soy boy fucking. That's
live in the pod.
Yeah, live in the pod. What do you mean?
Like live in the pod, you will own nothing and you'll be happy. Have you seen that? All that shit.
Oh yeah.
Like live in the pod. You know, you get a fucking. You seen those things in like Japan or something? You get like a little pod that you like slide in. It's like a fucking. That's like the future.
Yeah, but it's just like I think Andrew Tate's like one of the few like people out there that is actually promoting masculinity as a thing.
Exactly.
So that's why it's like it's so gravitating for like a lot of, because like his core audience was like 18 to like 30 or
young
something.
Men,
yeah, it's young men, and it's like when you look at like what the general like the pop culture and shit that's being promoted, it's not anything to do with masculinity.
No.
It's obviously promoting like anti-masculinity and saying that masculinity is toxic and all these bad shit about it. So is it that surprising that someone, even if, because I don't agree with everything Tate, I don't think Tate's the best guy to ever live. I like the guy, I like his content.
Yeah, there's some general things I reckon he gets at the heart of, like that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and it's just, yeah, you know, be a man, be strong-willed. Life's not good, you're going to get through it. It's not curl over and die and pretend that everything's okay and cuddle your teddy bears.
Yeah.
It's very much, you know, be a man.
Exactly, and a lot of stuff he says is correct. It's like I'm not a Muslim, obviously. I'm not religious. And I don't mean that in some weird way, but I find it honestly kind of retarded to believe in religion in this day and age. It's like, whatever, believe in whatever, there might be some, whatever. But he's like, the man thing is like, women, they, like all of society is telling you, like this soy fucking, I want a fucking written consent before I hit on you and shit like that. It's like, no woman respects any dude that acts like that. You know what I mean? It's like, so he's showing, I'm sure this thing's obviously wrong with him, but like you're saying he appeals to young men because we're like, a lot of young men don't know what to do because they've been told to be like this sort of way and it's not succeeding for them in any regard, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't actually work in real life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think he does touch on that. What are you saying?
Oh, it's just like, it doesn't really work, like acting like a pussy and
acting like a pussy doesn't,
being like a little white knight.
It's not attractive.
It's like, yeah, no girl respects it. It's not like a good energy to be giving off.
Because it's so false. It's like, it's not who you actually are. It's like, it's like some weird deceiving, like male feminist trick, you know what I mean? And he talks against that, and he also talks about, we're going to talk a lot about Andrew Tate, but like he talks about, like the best way to control society in a way is to control the young men as well, to make them kind of weak pussies is the perfect way, because when it comes right down to it, yes, women, you can be influential and have fucking, you know, good theories and revolutionary theories and shit like that, or like, you know, to overthrow a shitty tyrannical government that we absolutely exist under today. But you're not going to be the ones fucking fighting the barricade.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, it's like, if you look through who are the people fighting every revolution or war? It's young men.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not 60-year-old men. It's
exactly.
It's 18 to like, you know, 40. That is the age range of men that are like fighting the wars, really.
Exactly, and that's a good point, because it isn't just men or something like that. It's actually, it's just humans in there that are in the peak physical sort of condition to fight.
Yeah, the ones that are gonna take a big fall and get up and keep going.
Yeah, exactly.
The ones that, if I have to lift fucking you out of a field.
Yeah, exactly.
I can do it.
Exactly, and that's exactly why they have things like for standards for like being a fireman and shit like that, because like you said, you have to fucking carry someone out of a field or a house or some fucking bullshit like that. It's like, that's the only people that actually meet those requirements in our society. Sure, there are some women that probably could do that, but
And that's like, like the point you were making of why it's like such an important thing to control that age group is because if you have a whole population and that age group is like weak, like they're like little pussies, they're not fucking trying to be strong and shit at all, that's easy to control.
Very easy.
If you have a fucking confident, strong age group that's like fighting age, that's a bit more
worrying. It's like at any point these cunts could
do something. Like it's not that and that's not to say like women can't do anything. And like there have obviously been like revolutionary women out there.
Absolutely, there's been good ones.
Yeah, like
there's more comes to the theorist side of that.
Yeah, definitely, because they're not obviously at the end of the day they're not fucking beating someone up.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I know that fucking there's guns now. Women are more capable in that thing.
Yeah, that is true.
That plays a role. So I think women will have a bigger role.
Yeah.
But I still think that it would fall down to mainly men.
Yeah, and like to go into to now switch it. So we'll talk a little bit about that. So it's a little bit less Tate centered. Yeah, I don't know. It's cool. It's interesting. So it's a good thing to talk about.
No, definitely go.
Women. Yeah, I'll be a bit go into this more sexist. No, but yeah, they definitely could play a more role. And there actually has been like snipers and shit. I think there was one in the Soviet Union that sniped like 100 people during World War II. So they can definitely be capable. But I think it's also an attitude as well. You know what I mean? Like, who's more confrontational in just like a friend group when there's heaps of people around? It's usually dudes. And they get more heated, more aggressively heated, in general. You know what I mean? And girls, like, they hate on each other, but usually it's behind the backs and sort of thing. Like, dudes do that too, but like, I've seen a lot of friends. I've been in fucking screaming arguments with my friends before. Because it's just like, I don't know, it's just a little bit more fucking something in the personality, I guess.
I think, in saying that, like, I don't know if I 100% agree with that, because I think that, like, with, just like how like men and men interact with each other compared to like how women and women interact with each other. It's like if I'm sitting across the table from a guy and we're talking, there's like I can't say whatever the fuck I want, be a cunt to him, because there is the threat that he could get up and try and fight me.
That is definitely true.
Where with women that isn't really a thing. Like they're like
that's true.
Women aren't really gonna fucking say it to my face, cunt, and get up and try and fight them. Whereas like with two guys, like fuck, maybe guys do it a lot. They're like your old housemate. Me and like Brad, me and him used to get into each other's faces all the time.
But it seems like dudes get more carried away in that shit on general.
Well,
just like even imagine a pub or something like that.
Yeah, I've never seen.
It does happen.
Seen girls fight, but like I've seen many pub fights, and they've all been guys.
Yeah, pretty much every time.
Yeah,
the girls do. You see the video and like, I can suck my dick down.
Yeah, something I want to talk about as well is that with like, do you know, like something. It's actually something that. Sorry to go back to Tate, but like I'm not going back to him, but it's to do with like just like women in like a revolutionary role and shit like that.
Yeah.
And like why I don't think they would play as big parts in like the actual like combat and fighting a revolution. Is that like if you like in high pressure situation, if you let's say you're in a car and fucking someone swerves in front of you and it's fucking you got to do something now to avoid it, would you prefer you or your missus in the driver's seat?
Me.
And I don't know.
I think they'd be more likely to just
freeze up. Yeah, and it's like I think that is just more of a thing where I feel like men are more in that kind of stress situation. You've got to do something where they're more likely to act. Yeah. Where women are more likely to freeze up because you know, not to say I'm not calling women hysterical, but like
no one said you did.
but like I think that's just like. In high pressure situation, men are more likely to act. They're still some of them are going to freeze, but I think they're more likely to actually do something. Even if it fails, fucked up, you die in the car crash anyway. At least like something, you know?
Yeah, that's what I think that thing, there's something there in our attitude that's more like,
that's just something. This is like how like we operate and shit. I just think that men are more likely are better in those high pressure roles where like instant decision making, have to do it now, or death.
Yeah, definitely. As well, it's like that whole macho thing as well. It's like I was learning about Selma Revolution, and it's like you kind of build people up. I can't remember which one it was, but like you build up a situation where someone's kind of a pussy, and if they back down, and cunts will do like shit that they were never even planning to do. You know what I mean? So I was learning. I remember what it was. It was like 1848 revolution in France. The dude was like, they were having banquets and shit like that because they weren't allowed to have political parties. But then the government said, you're not allowed to do that anymore because these banquets were being used as a front, you know, basically to express fucking displeasure with the government and all that crap. And then, of course, the government says, you're not allowed to do that. And all of a sudden they're like, fucking, you're not allowed to tell me that. And then all of a sudden there's a full-blown revolution happening. When they were only having banquets, you know what I mean? It wasn't even really that revolutionary. You know, it's just like, there's some macho thing, and it's like it kind of gave me good ideas. If you ever wanted to have a revolution sort of thing, you got to try and build people into that, push people into that position where they're trying to like be macho, and then they get called out, and then they're like stuck.
And now they have to do it.
Yeah. I'm going to kick the shit out of that guy.
Yeah. Well, do you remember that fucking, the guy that, like, it's an old video. It's on, it was in America, and some guy, he like shot a husband and wife, like, out the front of their house. And it was over like shoveling snow. Yeah. And like the last thing the guy said to the guy before he goes in the house and grabs his gun is like, I'm going to make your life a living hell, you bitch. Yeah. And it's like, oh, you are. Go in there. He wasn't planning on killing 2 people this day. But he just called him a bitch, said you're going to make his life a living hell. So now he's got to do something. Yeah, exactly. And he just does this fucking crazy shit.
He actually goes way further than he probably was ever intending. Yeah, that's why he's like, you should have kept your mouth shut.
Yeah. You should have kept your mouth shut and kills a woman in the street.
It's so fucked.
So fucked up. But it's that backed into a corner. Call him a bitch. Yeah, your pride's at stake. Your whole like self-respect is at stake.
Are you a pussy?
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Yeah, and dude's probably just got that stupid. It's kind of a stupid thing to do. Worry about your pride in that situation. Like that guy. He could have just been called a bitch and let it go.
Yeah.
No one cares, man. I would never even heard of you.
You never would have heard of him. But every time he saw his neighbour.
Yeah, every time. Yeah, that's true.
He would have thought about it.
Yeah. Just like they giving him a smile as he drives past or something.
No, just give him the bird. And they throw shit on his lawn. They could torture him for the rest of the time. So, they're definitely, maybe that is a good way to start something, you know?
I thought it was pretty interesting. I literally was like, fuck, that's
But how would you do it?
Well, that's what I think, like the banquet thing. If you could build these things knowing that it's going to like, you know what I mean? Like, in that situation, if you're like, the government's going to shut us down if we do this, but technically we should be allowed to do this. People will get on their high horse about fucking, you can't shut this down. You know? I don't know how it could work. There's a million different ways it could happen, you know what I mean? But I think it's an interesting thing because it plays into our psychology of like, as I'm saying, you get forced into doing shit you don't want to because you don't want to look like an idiot or something. What do you think of because we'll talk on the air as well. We got Greta fucking got arrested too. I haven't seen the video. I saw that little meme or something.
Yeah.
Just like just a shitty meme or whatever. But like
like Tate arrested.
Yeah, and then she's arrested as well. And then
that meme.
You saw the video.
There's so I don't know. First came out where like the pictures of her being like picked up and lifted away by 2 cops or whatever. But then I saw a video where it's the 2 cops are holding her and they're all just like shuffling around, getting into position.
Oh bullshit!
getting into
like
position.
Photo op?
Yeah, like the fucking Greta's manager is like, I don't know if it's her manager, but some guy standing there talking to her, and like the cops are just like shuffling around, getting into position. Take the photo.
That's fucked.
And it's like, what kind of bullshit? Like, if you're getting arrested, you don't have like, quick photo shoot. That's like, if you're a cop arresting someone, isn't your job to just go pick them up in there? Not grab them, get the photo. Everyone get your. She's a good activist, isn't she? Put her away. It's very strange.
Straight out of AFC's playbook.
Yeah.
It is probably the most cringe thing you could possibly do. It's like, I'm such a... Like, from her perspective... Like, I want to go into two perspectives here. From her perspective, it's like, you're so radical that you're doing a photo... You're pretending to get arrested. Like, you're obviously not as radical as you're fucking portraying. It completely goes... Like, the whole thing. Then it's also... What do the cops get out of this? Like, I can understand her doing something to get arrested on purpose, and she's got like a team waiting for it, you know what I mean? Like AOC seem to be.
Yeah.
But why would the cops be in on it?
I don't know, agenda pushing.
Agenda pushing,
it's
like...
just like there's a political thing to go this way, and they control the police, and it's good to have, a little girl arrested.
Yeah,
and it's just like, everyone's going to hate them now. Big fucking mining company or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what the play is.
Yeah,
but it's
weird. Protesting. It is fucking weird.
There was a coal mine in Germany, I think. I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. I think it's Germany.
Sorry, just giving the coal mine, but
yeah,
she should be. Obviously, I'm not a retard. I don't think it's the government, but the government represents the powerful individuals and shit like that, and the companies and the coal mines. So they're basically them. She should be protesting against the government because it's like their policies, like from her point of view, that allow these coal mines to go on or whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? So she should be. Why? It's so weird that the government would be like, she's protesting against like us in a way. Well, let's use it as a photo op. I don't know, it's just fucking tripping me out, you know what I mean?
That is weird. It's weird that like the police are doing the photo op because that is because
they're the bad guys, isn't it?
Yeah. That is strange. It's just a weird thing all around, really. I don't get why, because it's just so suspicious why they all stopped, shuffled around, took the photo, like took a few photos, and then fucked off.
It is pretty insane, isn't it?
No, well, I think what they were protesting anyway, just for a bit of context, is like I think it was in Germany, and because they're not getting power from Russia anymore, they've got to start getting their own or doing that, and like obviously that means they're reopening coal mines or something.
Okay.
So that's what was happening, and then people started protesting at like the mine. She showed up and then gets arrested.
These people. The environment is something we obviously need to take care of. If Germany isn't getting their fucking power from Russia, they need power.
Yeah.
If they don't, people are going to be fucking freezing. People are going to use power to create food. You know what I mean? So, if you don't have power, I'm not saying they're going to starve. I don't know the fucking exact fucking how much fuel they got. But like, you can't just... It's easy for Greta, who's probably like fucking rich, you know what I mean? To go, you can't open these coal plants when she has no worry about the power bill. You know what I mean? It's like, how stupid are you? It's like, I see shit in Australia as well. The Greens and shit, I'm probably butchering what their policies are, but for what you ask me or random on the street, they want to fucking ban farming, you know what I mean? Or some shit like that. It's like, well, what are they going to do for a job? It's like, I think that needs to be fixed as well. But you can't just cut people's livelihoods.
Yeah, you can't just destroy someone's life with no backup plan
for
them at all. It's like, well, there was the big protests in like Holland or whatever. The Netherlands or whatever, where like they had this new policy come in that was going to shut down like a massive part. I don't know if it was a majority. It might not have been a majority, but a massive section of like the farming industry.
Yeah.
So then you had like farmers protesting where they'd back up streets and they'd just dump shit everywhere. And if you didn't see it, it was pretty massive.
Yeah, I did. That was pretty sick.
And it's because like if you fucking just say, oh, this massive population of farmers out here can't farm anymore, it's like you're fucking them over completely.
Yeah,
and you're not giving them. They still have that land. They still have all the equipment to do it all, but you're not allowed it. What are they going to do? Are they just going to starve to death because they're not deemed worthy? They're not deemed like important. It's like what are you going to do?
Yeah, exactly.
There needs to be backup plans. You can't just start banning shit without having like if you ban fucking coal or whatever, you got to have something that can replace it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, yes, you can use nuclear or something, absolutely, but it's like, are they ready right now?
If they're not ready now, we still need to fucking mine.
You still need to do it. It's like climate change is definitely a thing. I would say, the evidence from what I've gathered, yes, I reckon there's a lot of fucking hyperbole around it and bullshit like that, but I reckon it's definitely real. I mean, you fucking take minerals from the earth, they're not replenishing as quick as you take them. That's gonna, that's a problem.
Yeah. Well, it's like, well, that makes it a problem even with that, like using like a finite resource.
Yeah, I suppose that's a different argument.
That's a problem because we're going to have to do something else eventually.
Yeah.
But it's more like, you burn all this shit off, it sits in the atmosphere. That might change shit,
Yeah, exactly.
If you change what's in the atmosphere by a substantial amount, it's probably going to change something.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt that like humans are affecting the climate. There's no like I'm sure they like
monkeys
100%.
Don't fucking burn.
No, they
millions of litres of fuel.
No, they don't. And it's like how much gets burnt every day. It's fucking massive. How many cars go everywhere all the time? It's fucked how much we'd use. Yeah, so it's got to be doing something.
Yeah, it has to do more than what's natural.
But I definitely get the hype of all about it because, like, fuck, man, it's like you read about it now, and it's like people have been saying, "Oh, we're going to be fucking dead because of the climate in 30 years," and we've been saying that for like 60 years or some shit.
Yeah, exactly.
So, like, I think that obviously some people are going to push the agenda of fucking climate change. We've got to do something now because they gain something politically from it. Absolutely. And then there's going to be on the opposite end of that, where people are going to be like, "Oh, it doesn't exist," because they're going to gain something from people believing it doesn't exist.
Yeah, sort of like the whole woke thing or something like that. Yeah.
Like in somewhere out there is a reasonable response to this.
Yeah.
But because all you're hearing is, "Oh, cut it all off now," or "It's fine," it's like you're not getting that information.
Exactly, and this is where the thing is like these protesters and things like that. It's like. They're going to assume, I'm against these. I support the Dutch farmers, which I personally do.
I would, yeah, obviously.
Absolutely. It doesn't mean I'm a climate-denying fucking conspiracy tard. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, it's not one or the other.
Yeah, it's not fucking so black and white. It's like classy. It's a shade of grey,
Yeah, exactly.
It's like there's obviously there is a problem with the climate and all that shit, but just like these rash solutions aren't fixing it, and they're making people's lives worse.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, what are you meant to do? If you imagine you're a farmer, I mean, you get a decent amount of money for doing that as a job. I mean, I don't know the figures. I've never been a farmer, but like they do make decent money, and it's like, what are they going to go live on the fucking dole? It's like that's retarded.
Yeah, so I don't know what else to say about it, really. It's just...
I know, it's just annoying to see all that shit as well. And it's like, especially because I'm on their side to a degree. Not that's harsh, but like, I believe it is an issue. We need to fucking come up with new things and things like that. But when they do make it so black and white, all the retards that can't think in... who can't fucking actually look at something and like find the grey area. They just go, I'm on that side or that side. Because a lot of people are like that, you know what I mean? That's like one of our friends. We say jokes that are, have racist elements into them. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
And then all of a sudden, he starts thinking he's a Nazi. You know what I mean? Because he like laughs at our jokes. So, but he doesn't see the fucking finer.
Yeah. He
It's
doesn't
like that with everyone. Well, not everyone. A lot of people like that.
A lot of people are like that. They don't really want to think about the topic in like a deeper sense. So they'll just like, hear buzzword.
And it goes to so many different things.
Yeah.
It's like, I see the Republicans are obviously, I'm not a Republican by any stretch of the imagination. Definitely not a fucking Democrat either, personally. But I hate them. They're both two flavors of fucking liberal. But like, you see how you see Tucker Carlson, right? And like this whole anti-woke movement is obviously pretty large. There's a lot of people that disagree. But then he gets on there and he talks about how he would never trust a fucking atheist or something like that. And it's like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? It's like they can't... Like, they just have to go... There's clearly a group of people that could be fit... Like, the whole world could fit into this whole anti-woke sort of thing, you know what I mean? Like, any person in the world, wherever they're from. But now they're like, oh, you have to be a fucking Christian, fucking conservative American. Or, you're not really welcome in the group. And it's like, people just do stupid shit like that. And that's why that's the whole flaw of that whole thing.
Yeah, well... Why, like, the right resurgence failed and all that.
Yeah, because they try to split exactly. I'm butchering making a coherent point, but exactly, that whole right resurgence.
Well, yeah, because it's like, I like anti-woke movement. That's good. But when because it was hijacked, I think it's kind of like, like the thing we were talking about before, like the right resurgence has died. That's clearly not happening. Not everyone's turning into a fucking Republican, which I'm happy about. Yeah. But like, if you hijack that anti-woke movement and try and like put in your own version of it, which is, oh, we hate woke people, but we love God.
And if you don't love God,
yeah, you're woke. It's you've lost you've lost a lot of people. Like I would think that majority of people aren't religious these days.
In the West, in America, there's more religious people. But in the West,
I mean, practicing. Like if you go to church every fucking Sunday on a Christmas holidays, but the rest of the time you're not going, I don't think you're religious. I think it's more if you're just going as a tradition kind of bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I love Christmas the holiday. I love saying family.
Yeah, no,
But I'm not.
But I'm not going to, you know what I mean. I mean, like people that go to church on these kind of holidays.
Yeah, because they're kind of just doing it as a thing.
Yeah, because there'd be so many people that would call themselves Christians and they'd go to church once, and it's because it's Christmas time.
Yeah, exactly.
And the rest of the year, they're not giving a fuck about church or whatever that shit is. So like, when I say I think the majority is probably not religious, I mean not practicing.
Yeah,
like if you're not,
I'll say that's probably true.
Yeah, if you're not practicing religion, then you're not fucking religious. It's just like how I was talking to someone ages ago, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I was raised Christian. I was born Christian, so I guess I'm a Christian." It's like you're not. You actually have to be a Christian to be a Christian.
You fundamentally believe in like Jesus and things like that, because
if you don't believe in it, then what's the point? It's like then you're not that.
Yeah, exactly. I have a lot more respect for someone that actually believes it and actually knows the shit. I disagree with them fundamentally on the nature of how everything is. I don't believe in Jesus was the son of God or something. It's like, fuck, if there was a God, some fucking dude on earth wasn't his son. That's retarded. But like, I have more respect for someone that actually like, I wouldn't say I am something if I'm not, you know what I mean? Yeah. No, like that's just like, oh, it's like, are you just retarded? Like you just like go through life like,
they're just wishy-washy people. They don't. They're not really like. They don't really stand by anything they think or say. There's like if that's what I agree. It's like if someone is like, no, I am a Christian. I believe in this. This is what I think. Yeah. It's like I'll respect that. It's like fuck. I won't agree with it, but fuck if you read the Bible and you study it and this is what you think. Yeah, fucking. At least you actually believe what you're saying.
Yeah, and if you put thought into it, like how you, if like believing in God or religion or something is such a core thing to your worldview. Yeah, it's like, and your worldview is how you interact with the world based on your worldview. You know what I mean? It's like,
well, it's like people's ideologies in a sense. If you have an ideology that you're like, everyone has an ideology that they live by. if you know your ideology, that's a respectable thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Whereas so many people walk around, everyone has one. No matter who you are, if you fucking hate getting into shit and, you just want to live my life, that's an ideology.
Exactly.
So, like, and if you don't know your ideology and you haven't thought about it or looked into it, that's hard. It's hard to respect your opinion on anything because you don't give a fuck.
And it's like, how could you not care about something so important to how you view everything else? So what do I fundamentally believe as a person?
Yeah. Like,
how could you not think about that?
You've never thought about, like, morality or ethics. So you've never thought, like, if you never think about that, then it's
what are you even doing?
What's the point?
So what are you even doing? Is it like, are you literally just going to work, going to the shop, watching Netflix, never...
That's the biggest autopilot kind of life you could ever have.
Yeah.
So there's nothing respectable about that in my worldview.
No, it's weird because at the same time I'll be friends with someone that is like that.
Yeah.
I'll be friends with the dumbest cunt you could ever meet.
Yeah.
Which is like...
If they're a good hang, yeah.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah. But it's like when it comes down to it, that is... Yeah, you don't respect that. That's kind of a retarded, stupid way to live.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if your mate was like that, you still love him. I don't know. That's just a random tangent on that, but because at the same time, I do want to be like, I do not respect him, which I don't. I mean, I don't respect that.
Well, it's like fucking, our mate, fucking, he's racist. One.
Yeah.
The guy that can't get a racist joke to save his life.
Yeah.
His ideology, like the way he operates, like he was talking to me. I was making dinner and we were talking, and he was just telling me about how you just gotta just do it, just enjoy food, fucking go out for a walk and go to work, come home, just feel good, Don't have to think about other shit. Don't let other shit bother you. Is what he's saying, because this guy has not thought about a thing in his fucking life. Yeah. Because he doesn't want to. He would rather, just live the most simple life possible, never think about how the world affects him ever.
Exactly, and it's such a stupid way of thinking, because it's like, shit does happen. You know what I mean? Imagine you're in Ukraine and you had that worldview. You could be getting a fucking bomb dropped on your head all of a sudden. It's like, there's shit that goes on in the world that needs to, like, be thought about and resolved. Because you can't just fucking... You know what I'm saying? It's like, but you can't just go through your life like... Because it's like...
Because when the bomb gets dropped, you're going to be sitting there like, oh, well, what's going on? It's like you got to have a plan now.
You have a plan. And
if all of a sudden we're going to war, and that's the kind of cunt that's... we're going to war with China, and he joins the fucking military. Yeah, because it's like, well, everyone's doing it, you got to do it.
Yeah, they're fucking telling us to and shit.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden you're just like, I'm just going to do this, and whatever the fucking top says that we got to do, I'm doing it.
Yeah,
it's just dumb.
It's dumb, and it's just, as well because it's like you do YOLO. You only have one life. You know what I'm saying? It's like why wouldn't? I'm not saying I've figured it out. I certainly haven't. I'm sure there's probably things I'll look back today in like 5 years and I'll be like, man, I was so off the mark there. But like, you got one opportunity to live this life. Why would you not want to fucking think about how it all fucking operates or some shit like that? You know what I mean? It's just like, I don't understand it's like a thing where I'll put down dumb and proud. You know what I'm saying? And it is like, I just don't know. It's fucking a weird thing, eh? But
I think that it is heavily tied to that. It's just that, like, there is people take pride in like how like the anti-intellectualism.
Yeah, ignorance and all that.
Yeah, it's like, it's cool to not give a shit.
Which is weird. I wonder if this is very much a product of this era of capitalism, where it's like really consumer focused, and because we can't go back in time and see what people were like back in the day. I'm sure people were probably like that.
Probably just as dumb. Or
yeah.
I think it's Mate, I don't know. I couldn't give you a concrete like theory on it, but it's like, I don't know. I think that back in the day is probably, you know, I've seen people say today, it's like, no, I haven't read a book.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like they're happy that they haven't read a book ever. Where
that's
it's like
a nerd thing to consume.
Yeah, it's like that's a nerd thing, but it's like I don't think that would have been the same thing back in the day. I don't know when I'm talking about back in the day, but like when you don't have television, you don't have radio, and it's like, oh, you want to read, you want to do something. Reading a book is probably a normal thing to do, but now because television is, you know, it's doesn't have to have information. It doesn't have to be a compelling story. It's just flashing lights on a TV.
Yeah,
explosions happening. You don't actually have to have a compelling story anymore.
Yeah, because like that seems like more of a recent invention. Not invention, but like a recent thing.
The television, or
the television obviously a recent invention, but I mean, like, when I was a kid, even though we're not going that far back, it wasn't the 80th Marvel movie. You know what I mean? It seems like that has become very pronounced, as in, I feel like maybe movies were a bit shit back then. I was just too young to fucking realise. But it seems like it's definitely gone down this path of hyper-consumer, just explosion for retards.
Well, I think like any kind of thing in a capitalist society, what gets the most money is really what's the most profitable is the best thing in the eyes of capitalism, in a sense. So let's, like, when it comes to making a movie, instead of, oh, you have this new idea, like, and we're going to try something and do this, it's easier and more profitable to just rehash old ideas.
Yeah.
That's why we see so much like sequels these days. To, like, you have a great film and then you make a sequel to it that's dog shit, but it's going to bring in a certain percentage of those people that saw the first one.
What's the... Fucking so true. When was the last time you seen a good sequel?
No, they don't exist. It's like sequels...
Unless it was outright from the beginning. You know what I mean? Well, I actually haven't seen Lord of the Rings. You know what I'm saying? Personally. Yeah. I've heard they're good, though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I've heard The Bride is good or whatever. I haven't actually seen them, but... Like, that is such a long story that they had to divide into 3 films or some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but then there's like... Fucking... sorry, I was going to say, I can't think of an example, but, you know, like Step Brothers 2 or something. I don't know. I don't know what it is.
I think that, like, well, I don't know, like... when I was a kid, I liked the Star Wars movies and shit. Yeah. And, like, I don't know, everyone... I don't know, you get into the fan base, there's retards everywhere, and people saying stupid, like, oh, only the first 3 are good, and the first 3, if I watch them, are trash. The next 3 aren't that great now, to me, anyway. And the last 3 that came out are absolute dog shit. Yeah, but it's like how it was a popular franchise 20-odd years ago or whatever. I don't know when they were made. And now they rehashed it again, and they're fucking worse than worse. They're so bad. Yeah. So it's just like, it is...
But that's an example of it adding on to something that actually did have a lot of... I think it was actually based off books or something.
Oh yeah, I honestly have no idea what it's based off. But yeah, it's... Yeah, I can't really know where I'm going with this. But yeah, they're just remaking shit, and it's all bad. And it's like a TV show that I actually enjoyed, but so have you seen the show You?
Yep. I was actually thinking that.
So the first season, this is... So when they wrote this show, they wrote it to have a first season, and that was it. They didn't plan to have a season 2 or a season 3. I thought the first season was fucking incredible. I loved the show.
I thought it was good. I wouldn't say incredible. I wouldn't go that far, mate.
I liked it. I liked it as a show. Anyway, the second season was absolute dog shit.
Yeah, it got horrible.
The third season was fucking even worse.
Yeah, the second two were terrible.
And I think it's because, like, they're doing this now, where you make the first season of a show, and it's only a 1-season show, and it's so good, you have to make another.
Yeah.
But the story wasn't written to have a second season.
No, exactly.
So it's not going to work as good, but because it's profitable and people are going to watch it, because you're invested, you watch the season, you're going to watch the next.
I mean, I watched all 3, but I thought the second and third were terrible.
Yeah, I got halfway through the first episode on the third season and gave up.
Yeah, Yeah, it's not good, and it exactly comes down to all that shit. It's like the first one, someone's actually, some random dude's probably fucking sat there and come up with his whole story. And, you know, how exciting can one person's life be, you know what I mean? He has this crazy story, you know, like in the whatever. I can't remember exactly, something kills that chick or something.
Yeah.
But then the second one, it's like, how do we add another major twist and thing to this guy's life? Or now his girlfriend's also a killer. Yeah. But that is quite possibly the dumbest thing you could actually do.
I actually think I have a better example of this happening. So, the show Mindhunter. The first season is it's heavily dramatized, obviously, but it was based off a true story about like coming up with like psychopath and sociopath. It was about that. They're interviewing serial killers. And you can watch like real life interviews and show interviews, and they literally, some of them go like pretty like word for word what they say in like the real interviews with these serial killers. And then in the second season, because it was so popular, they made a second season. Second season isn't based on a true story anymore. Yeah, it's just they're going off with imagination. Yeah. So like all these other elements now, the kid of one of the guys of the show is killed a cat or killed a kid or something, and it's like, well, this is retarded, because it was a nice, based on the truth, to just complete fiction, like out of this world fiction. Yeah, and it seems like they have very shitty writers as well. But it's like, it should have just stopped. Yeah, it should have stopped. That one was interesting, eh? Not to get onto like some movie fucking talking about shitty fucking Netflix TV, but you know, seeing interviews with serial killers is always kind of interesting to get a look in there. But anyway, back to the main point. It's just that in like, you know, with capitalism, profit is what drives things, and sequels are you're more likely to make a profit on a sequel than you are with this new idea that might not get any viewers. Yeah, and I think that's kind of in all areas of society. This is obviously glaringly obvious in the movie world. Yeah. Because it's like so high budget, it's probably really hard to even attempt anything new. But even music as well, I think. I mean, there's probably some good musicians out there. Like, I personally, look, I'm not crazy into music, you know what I mean? Like, I love music. I'll go fucking dance at a club or a pub, usually. Yeah. You know, somewhere. I'm too old for club. I'm 26, man. I'm too old for that shit already. You go there and everyone else is 18. It's like, this is pathetic. Yeah, it shouldn't be. I shouldn't be. But like, I'll dance to that shit. But like, I'm not someone that, if you catch me during the day by myself, is listening to music or anything. But I find I've never hear anyone that's good that's now. No, and I know that there is like they did this thing with music as well, where it's like, oh, you know, you play the, I don't know, it's like you have verse and then you have, what's the chorus. The more a chorus repeats, the better it is. It's just like the higher it tracks on like #1 charts and shit like that. So it's just like, there are these generic beats that they'll put out because it's, you can sell it on a radio. Yeah. It's not like, it's not going to be, it's not, you're not going to have like really polarizing music. You're going to have something that anyone could listen to and it's fine. Yeah, exactly. Very generic. That's what's going to get out there. Story. Yeah, I find that because I mean, it's easier to listen to older shit because you can just listen to all the best music of the decade or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's like, whereas living it now, you got to like hear it and then decide. It's not like already set in stone. This is actually decent, decided by fucking everyone. You know what I mean? But yeah, it seems to be like that. It's just like mass-produced garbage, like Drake and shit like that. Well, like fucking, have you seen like the rappers' names that are out there now? It's like, I haven't listened to one of their songs, and I hear like maybe a 30-second clip of it, and I'm like, this is the biggest dog shit music I've ever heard. Yeah. Of just like, Lil Uzi Vert and fucking all these other fucking names, and they're all just retarded. Yeah, it's so cringe. Like when did every rapper start having Lil in their name? And like shitty ass face tattoos everywhere, and like a grill, and it's like the whole world. It's become like a parody of like Lil Wayne and shit like that. It's like they're all parodies of Like, I don't even like like the originals or whatever that started doing the face tattoos and all the fucking weird. Like,
it's all garbage, man.
It's all garbage, but it's just so insane now.
Yeah, it's gone to that next level. It's like, especially one that really comes to my mind. Have you seen that? I've never heard of one of his fucking songs, that Lil Nas X.
Yeah.
I've seen a video clip and like, you got the right wing retards out there being like, oh, he's got the devil in it and shit like that. It's like, that is so cringe. Like, not in a like, because like you see people on the run like, this is demonic and shit like that. It's like, this is industry plant fucking trying to be rebellious or something. Oh, he fucks the devil in his videos. Like, that's not like, I don't know. It seems like a fucking 40-year-old dressing as a goth type fucking, you know?
Well, like, how much are you trying to piss off your religious dad?
Yeah. It's like,
is this what this music is about?
Yeah.
It's like, even like if you were like, if you're against like all like tradition, religious and all like traditional people and all that kind of shit, it's like if you were trying to be like edgy and shit, that's probably what you'd do.
Yeah.
Like, you're not even trying to like do your own thing. You're just trying to be edgy to these certain people.
Yeah, exactly. To the point of cringing.
Yeah,
like I'm not offended by this. This is pathetically embarrassing.
Yeah.
Well, I seen you know, it sucks because you're consuming fucking garbage shit, but like it was like MGK marries fucking some bitch. I don't remember who it is.
Yeah.
And it's like they drank each other's blood at the wedding.
Oh my god.
It's like
It's
are you like?
It's just cringe. It's why?
Why? It's like, I'm not like, oh, that's, you like vampires or something. It's like, no.
Yeah. Is it, you want to be a fucking vampire? What are you, 5?
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah, exactly.
do you think that is the craziest? I'd personally never do it. But it's just stupid. It's genuinely just like, oh, how much that like trying, like being edgy.
Trying so hard.
Being edgy can be good.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
edge is normally what's edgy is normally what's funny in 2 years. But like, these people are trying to be edgy. They're not edgy, they're just trying to be edgy.
Yeah.
Which is cringe. It's like, cringe is the word, like the last thing you want to be.
Oh no, exactly. The thing is that got me is like, you see these fucking Bible bashing Republicans up in arms about how it's like demonic and the devil, and it's like they're falling for the corporate propaganda hardcore. You know what I mean? It's like the corporate version of edgy. I don't know, it's just fucking got me going. It's just like so retarded, but I don't know.
Right. Anything else on the list?
Yes, kind of related. We don't have much time, but recently an Australian guy, politician, don't know the guy, I'm pretty sure he's actually just some like liberal tard. In Australia, liberals, our right wing.
Yeah.
Because they're both liberal parties. But he got caught wearing when he was 21, so he's like 40 now, wearing a Nazi costume at a fucking party. And it's like, and the whole media's turning into this thing, and it's like, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? That's a funny joke. I would do that today.
Yeah.
Does that mean I'm a Nazi? It's a costume.
Yeah. No, see, the thing is, you're wearing it because it's funny.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's funny to be like dressing up as a racist, genocidal maniac. Exactly. That's what you're dressing up as. That's the funniness of it. It's like, oh my god, how could you dress like that?
But where do you
to go? Oh, you're a nut. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, if you don't see the humour in that, I honestly think I would never care. Like, if that offends his political, you know, people are going to vote for him. It's like, you wouldn't want those sort of people anyway.
No.
They're no fun people. It's like, I don't even understand, where would you draw the line, what you can't do? Like, I've heard of people dressing as Jeffrey Dahmer or something after all this, you know, media attention and shit like that. It's like, why is that okay? I think that should be okay.
Yeah.
Like, why is that okay but that's not? It's like, it's a fucking joke.
Yeah. It's obviously, this guy's not dressing up as his hero, is he?
No, exactly.
He's gone to a party in it.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure it was a dress-up party.
Yeah, it's not like he's... Even if he was doing it every day, it's just like, this guy's fucking lunatic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I mean, fuck it. Yeah, I don't get it. It's just retarded. That's just weird that people would get... Like, I never got why people are so offended by it. I remember when I was like 12 and I was in high school, everyone would be like, oh, I'm going to come as a Nazi on Halloween. That'd be so funny. And
I reckon it's kind of funny.
It would be funny. I reckon it would be hilarious.
Yeah.
But it's only so funny because people would be so upset by it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, that is true.
Like, it's like, why... There's really no reason to be upset by it. Like,
who is it hurting?
Yeah, it's really... No one's going to see it and fucking be like, oh, fuck, maybe I should go fucking start putting Jews in camps.
Yeah, what the
It's
fuck?
like, what are you scared of him wearing a costume? It's like, it's not going to change anyone's mind.
No, it makes fucking... It's completely ridiculous. Anyway, we're done.
Yeah, no, let's call it. Thanks for watching, if you made it to the end. And yeah, like, subscribe, follow us on Twitter. And yeah, we'll see you next time.
Gotcha.
See ya.